Till over a month ago, she was playing the supporting role to Joe Biden's re-election bid. Kamala Harris is now the Democratic Party's candidate for president. The cherry on top, she accepted the nomination on her wedding anniversary.
On behalf of everyone whose story could only be written in the greatest nation on earth, I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America. So let me start by thanking my most incredible husband, Doug, for being an incredible partner to me, an incredible father to Cole and Ella, and happy anniversary, Dougie. I love you so very much.
Joe Biden was edged out by Democrats who feared losing the race after his poor showing against Donald Trump in the first presidential debate in June. Biden eventually stepped down and backed his vice president, Kamala Harris, who has since re-energized the campaign and raised a record amount in funds. But she is acutely aware of who she is up against, and she shined the spotlight on Donald Trump's record of chaos and calamity, as she puts it.
Consider not only the chaos and calamity when he was in office, but also the gravity of what has happened since he lost the last election. Donald Trump tried to throw away your votes. When he failed, he sent an armed mob to the United States Capitol, where they assaulted law enforcement officers. When politicians in his own party begged him to call off the mob and send help, he did the opposite. He fanned the flames. And now, for an entirely different set of crimes, he was found guilty of fraud by a jury of everyday Americans and separately found liable for committing sexual abuse. And consider what he intends to do if we give him power again. Consider his explicit intent to set free violent extremists who assaulted those law enforcement officers at the Capitol. His explicit intent to jail journalists, political opponents, and anyone he sees as the enemy. His explicit intent to deploy our active duty military against our own citizens. Consider the power he will have. Just imagine Donald Trump with no guardrails.
As she targeted Trump, he was in attack mode too, with a Twitter storm of his own, calling Kamala Harris a radical Marxist, someone who was all talk, no action, blaming her for everything from the border crisis to the Israel-Hamas war. Democrats have seen a new energy in their campaign since Kamala Harris was put on the top of the ticket. But it's expected to be a close fight. As both parties are done with their official nominations, the battle now heads into the final 11 weeks before the elections on November 5th.